Welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraff.
I'm Catherine, co-host and bestie.
Welcome to the Pod Lab, Catherine.
Thank you.
We are on episode number 255.
Woohoo!
You know, we didn't really celebrate our 250th episode.
I know, but before we know it, 300 will be here.
I know, but like this is the 250th birthday of our country. We should have done something.
True.
Sorry, friends. Oops. Bad on us. Oh, well.
You think they were looking for that?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, you know, we had a huge spike in listeners.
We did. I saw that.
I know. It looks like
what's happening?
Big erection, right?
Oh, my gosh.
Right there, we had this big spike.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Technically, that's what it was.
Yes.
We had a spike.
But we don't know why.
A rise.
We don't know why.
I know. I would love to know. I would love to know who's listening too.
Yes, let us know.
Please do. Just take a few seconds to let us know.
Yeah, email us.
Like, say, where are you? Who are you?
Right, and why are you listening to the two of
No
us?
criticism, though, please.
Right, because we can't take it. We're fragile.
Fragile.
We were not planning on sharing that, but something happened. It was a week ago Sunday, and all of a sudden, because we drop episodes on Wednesdays,
Yeah.
which has been consistent throughout, but for some reason on Sunday, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, we had this huge spike. Like normally we get maybe 30 downloads a day, something like that.
Yeah.
It was like over 300.
Yeah.
That's
just
different.
a lot.
Like what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you people? Where are you 300
people?
people?
Traveling and they're listening? I don't know.
I don't know either, but please let us know. I'll give my email address because they can email me through my website. It's just Tracy, Tracy, at tracydegraff.com.
Yeah.
TracyDegraaf like rank.com.
There you go.
Just email me and let me know why you're listening. And also while you're at it, tell us.
Yeah,
Wait, maybe not.
Yeah, not why you're listening. Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Well, we're trying to figure out how did we get that spike?
Yeah.
And is there a way to duplicate that?
Like, what are we doing right?
Yeah.
Let us know.
But don't tell us what we're doing wrong because we don't think we can fix it.
Well, we can't change. I mean, come on. Do we even want to?
I'm sorry. No, we don't. Speaking of change, thank you for that segue.
Yeah.
Today's episode,
It was
friends,
intentional.
Yeah, right. That was totally off the cuff. But today's episode is about change.
Yeah.
We're calling this episode Shift Happens.
Yeah, and it's a little different from our Who Moved the Cheese episode, which we did way back when we first began. You can look that up. We don't know what number it is.
Right, but it's in the first 20 episodes that we did or so.
Something like that.
Yeah. Who Moved My Cheese is a famous classic business book, like when things change and you don't want them to change. And Catherine and I read the book and then we talked about it. It was a really good episode. But shift happens. And then the subtitle of today's episodes, friends, is Redefining Identity After Life Changes.
Yes.
And Catherine and I, in case you didn't know, we're in the season of change in terms of, I just turned 60, praise God. Mm-hmm. And menopause is, you know,
I just snarled.
it's a thing. Mm-hmm. So we're in those seasons of changes. I'm about to become a grandma any day now.
Yeah.
My daughter-in-law is due with our first grandbaby tomorrow.
Yes. Well,
So-
I thought it was changed.
Well, see, changes happen. It was the due date keeps flipping back and forth.
Yeah.
So it was the 19th, then it was the 10th, and now it's just like, well, you're right on target. So I don't know when it is actually.
Confused. Okay.
You know how it is with babies. They come out when they're ready.
Yeah.
We were talking about this yesterday, how God should have just given pregnant women one of those little turkey baster or the turkey button when the turkey's done. Poop.
Yeah. Like the purpose of the belly button.
Yeah.
That's what it really should be for.
If your belly button pops out, your baby's ready.
Except if you're a man. I don't know what the
Well,
purpose would be.
Men don't get pregnant, Catherine.
Duh. Right. Saying. But their belly button purpose would be different is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, you have to figure that
Anyway,
out later.
have we told, because I can't wait.
What?
With the folks what the title of our show is, or our topic is?
I just said it.
Did you?
Yes, you weren't listening?
No. Wait, you said shift happens?
Yes, I did.
And you said
I did.
Oh.
Anyway,
I didn't
say
hear
it
it.
again. Say it again.
Shift happens. Because I think it's clever and funny. So, yeah, okay.
I think you were thinking so much about saying it, you didn't hear me say it.
Yeah, I guess not.
Probably. Anyway, before we dive in and give these takeaways and everything, Catherine, tell our listeners how they can sponsor us.
They could go. You can go, listener.
Yes.
To Life Happens Laugh Anyway podcast.com. That will then take you to Tracy's website.
Yes.
And you will see the prompts to click on, and you can donate generously to help a couple girls out with our podcast problems.
Yeah, obviously we need help. And we appreciate all of our sponsors. We have roughly 30 sponsors right now that generally sponsor us at $5 a month.
Yeah.
So there, we really appreciate all of you that do that, because it goes a long way for us in helping us to put together this platform, and we're hoping to grow. So
yes,
just do that. All right, let's dive in. Here are the 3 takeaways that I think, and Catherine thinks, you all are going to get out of this if you stick with us for the next half hour, 40 minutes, whatever it is. Takeaway number 1, identity shifts are normal, right? They're not personal failure.
good news.
Yeah. And so when we say shift happens and change in life happens, it's really an identity shift. Like your purpose, your role in life is changing, whether by your plan or somebody else's. Life circumstances sometimes comes in and makes changes that you're like, what? So anyway, it's not abnormal. That's the key takeaway. Takeaway number 2, the loss isn't you, it's the role. So even though, things are changing and you're going to have to let go of what was and embrace what is, that loss is not a reflection negatively on you at all. Takeaway number 3, identity is rebuilt through small intentional actions. That's going to be helpful and practical.
Sure.
Okay, as always, we have scripture and a call to action at the end. So, Catherine, share with our listeners what your thoughts are on that first takeaway. Identity shifts are normal, not a personal failure.
Well, I think it's a good thing to highlight, because sometimes when we identify ourselves in our role, let's say it's mother, let's say a career, woman or whatever, and that changes or gets taken away, or evolves into something else, it can feel sometimes like failure, or a loss, Right. And so then understanding that it's normal, and it's not the be all end all of who you are.
Right.
So I think that is encouraging.
It is. And it's very important for us in our minds to, I think, name it and claim it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Because the sooner we do that, the sooner that we can shift our thinking, because our circumstances can change. Like, let's say, okay, let's put the example out there of motherhood, because you and I are both mothers, and we're also now empty nesters, right?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, from the moment you're pregnant, things are changing. Your body is changing. Your hormones are changing. Your whole world is changing, right? And then when you realize that you are responsible for that little human 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, if you're not with them, you're responsible for making sure someone is.
Right. And then times how many kids you have.
Times 5. I know.
Right. Times 3 for me.
Do you know, recently I did that talk at the school district for our friend Becky. Okay. I don't normally do talks for schools.
Right.
But I did this for my friend. And at this talk, I did the math of how many school days I was a mother of kids getting on the bus. 4,500 school days. That's crazy.
So crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
4,500 days of, bus, where's your lunch? Where are your shoes?
Yeah.
That's crazy. 4,500 days. And we were parents of school-age kids from I think it was 1995 until 2020. So it's 25 years of kids, in school. There's a lot of change. It's a lot of shift. It's a lot of growth.
Yeah.
You take 2 steps forward, you take 3 steps back. It's very fluid. It's
That's
very
a good way to put it. Yeah. It's constantly streaming.
It is. And then after our kids are grown, call it the growing season or whatever, once they're grown, you're taking on a new role. You're still parent. I mean, we're still mothers to our grown adult children who are now becoming parents themselves, right? So your role is shifting to maybe advisor role in some respects if they ask for advice, but if you give advice and it hasn't been asked for, that's a problem.
Well, not always.
Not always, but you know, they're independent adults. They have their own thoughts and they have to make their own mistakes as well, just like we did. So we don't want to be overbearing, Catherine.
No, we don't want to be, but
No, but
We're
motherhood is definitely an experiment of how are you going to handle changes, right?
right.
And then hormones and your body and all the things that come after that. Who was I talking to at church yesterday? I made a joke about my facial hair.
Oh, it was because was it Rex that
Yes.
said sir, and then he was like, oh ma'am, and then you said, oh yeah, I shaved.
Yes, we were.
that was a quick comeback.
I know. Well, you know, because I do that in my act.
Yeah.
That whole bit about my lady whiskers. But we were in a Bible study and I had a question that the leader of the Bible study had asked, does anybody have a question? And I had a clarifying question. So I raised my hand.
It's like, yes, sir.
And he looked right at me and he goes, yes, sir. And I go, oh, well, I shaved for you today. So he's like, oops, sorry, ma'am.
That was funny.
Yeah, that is funny. But anyway, what I'm getting at is even those surprises, right? Like the facial hair, the mood swings, the
Facial hair.
right? All of the changes that happen in our bodies from the moment we get pregnant, I think, until after we go well into our like senior seasons or whatever.
Yeah.
Just lots of changes.
Yes. Are you going to share when you felt one of your biggest shifts?
Sure. Yeah, you
Yeah.
share first.
I-
What was yours?
I was surprised with mine. I had no idea that this was going to happen in me. So when our youngest child, which is our Alice, our
Yes.
daughter, who is now married and pregnant, when she moved out, I didn't expect this out of me. I bawled. I cried almost uncontrollably. And when I start, it's hard to stop.
Yeah. Well, you
'Cause I
don't cry that
a lot.
often.
Right.
You got to get it out more, Catherine. You
It's
should be like me. Just cry like every day.
I used to when I was younger,
Yeah.
but now that I'm older, and it's funny because usually it's like reverse, but when I do, it's almost like for days,
Yeah.
you know, and I'll
Is
just
that
start
what
weeping.
happened when Ellis moved
Yes.
out? It was days?
Yes.
Yeah.
I cried like uncontrollably. I had no idea that was going to happen. It was a big, I don't even know how to put it into words, but it was definitely a big shift. She was our last one to move out, and our house was small. Well, we had downsized and our house was small, so I thought that I don't want to say that it would be a relief, like, oh, more space for us, but I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
And it was a big huge shift. You know, I just like our baby was moving out, and there were a lot of reasons why it brought tears to my eyes. You know, lots. I mean, just a whole bunch of things. And so I took it pretty hard. That was one.
Yeah.
And then also, even though I wasn't the main caregiver for my mom, my sister mostly was, when she passed, my dad had already passed, and then when my mom passed, I really felt a huge shift. And well, it was a loss, of course, but it was a shift because, like I said, I wasn't the primary caregiver for my mom, but I did have her a lot, and I constantly worried about her.
Yeah.
So even though she wasn't physically with me all the time, mentally she was. And so, oh gosh, I could start crying now, but it was just a big shift.
Yeah.
And it still hurts today.
Yeah.
So those are two that I can think of right now that really were, I guess, most recent.
Well, and that makes sense. In our late 50s, early 60s, these are the things that happen. The kids grow up and move out. The parents, leave this world. And we all know that intellectually. We cognitively, we understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when we're in that position, you don't know what to expect until you're there. And especially with grief. And I think that shifts bring grief, regardless of if it's grieving the mourning of death or the death of a dream or the death of
that's a big one too.
a goal or, whatever it is that you're grieving that you don't have, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Definitely. It's, and it was a little unexpected. I didn't think I'd still be, grieving, but I am.
Yeah. And I'm proud of you for the way that you're grieving, because I know you've mentioned on the podcast, so you're not afraid to say it again, that you've gone to a counselor.
Yeah, I still go.
And the counselor has been incredibly helpful. And I would encourage anybody listening to us, I've been to a counselor many times over my adult life. Go to a counselor.
It's just a great way to process things.
Yeah.
And it's surprising how helpful it is from an unbiased, person, someone outside of your forest.
And it's an investment in your joy
health,
and your health. Yes, your wholeness. I mean, your mind and your body and spirit are not separable. You're an entity in and of itself. So
True that.
Invest in preserving it.
Yes.
Shifts for me, I would definitely say the same in terms of empty nest and losing my parents. Those were big shifts for me. On the losing my parents side, I was in my 20s when I lost my mom.
Yeah.
That was a huge shift that was so unexpected. And I had a huge amount of jealousy for my friends, because none of my friends had that going on in their life. I was having my babies, my sister was having her babies, and our mom was sick and could barely help and could barely hold them, and then she died.
Yeah.
And I only had 2 sons when she died, so she never met my other 3 sons. So that's always been like a loss. I mean, she's been gone now over 30 years.
Wow. Yeah.
So that was really hard. It was unexpected and it was unwanted, but I had no control over that.
Right. And you don't, as a young mom or a young girl, you don't picture your future without your mom that early in life.
No, it's not normal.
So definitely that's a shift that happened. Definitely an adjustment.
I mean, she was 51 years old and she was gone from this earth. So that's just very tragic and hard. And at the same time, obviously you have to embrace it because you don't have any control over it. And in fact, that was the first time that I did go to counseling. My pastor at the time noticed that I was depressed. And he said, "You're just flat. There's just like, that's not you." Because he knew me pretty well. And he was like, "I think you need to go and get some help."
Well, and one of the great qualities of you is you listen to wisdom. You're obedient that way. When someone makes a suggestion, especially someone who you respect and is somebody wise, you're going to follow through.
I do try.
Yeah.
I do try, and it was wise advice. It took us a while to find the right counselor. Because, if you go to one, if we just stopped after the first one, because the first one just wasn't a fit.
Yeah.
First of all, it was far away from our house. So, and we had 2 little kids. So we had to get a babysitter and the whole thing. Anyway, and then just his demeanor, my husband was like, no. So we found somebody else. But, so don't give up. If one counselor isn't a fit, there's plenty of fish in the sea, as they say.
Yeah.
The other shift of empty nest, since you kind of brought that one up, I was so ready for an empty nest that I was like, yeah, bring it. We actually went out and celebrated, woohoo. And then our 4th son, Adam, he came back.
Right.
And I was like, oh, yay.
Well, for sure. I mean, you already had shed a lot of tears anyway over, like a lot over over a period of time. Whereas me, maybe not as much. I don't know. The circumstance is different.
Well, yeah, because I was in the trenches of motherhood for a way longer period of time than you were.
Yeah.
First of all, because the span of my kids from oldest to youngest is 11 years.
Yeah.
What's the span for your kids?
I think 5 years.
Okay, look at that difference
5 or
right
6.
there.
Oh yeah, I know.
So it's all dependent,
Mm-hmm.
but we all have shifts and things that change.
Yeah.
So it's a normal part of life.
Right.
It is going to happen, like it or not. So the best way to, I guess, plan for it or prepare for it is just to expect it.
I know.
Things are going to change.
Okay, so my brain went to, geez, how old is Ellis right now? Is she 23 or 24?
She's 24.
Is she?
She's, right?
Wait, how old's Caleb?
I don't know.
Okay, and
I think-
Patrick is going to be 30 next month.
Okay, listen. Caleb is 24. He's turning 25.
Right.
So you're
Ellis is turning 25?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So she's turning 25 and Patrick is turning 30.
Yeah.
So there's 5 years, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else about that first takeaway?
Yes.
What else do you want to say?
Another situation so I never had an actual career, throughout motherhood, but I really liked my job at Evelina's.
Yeah.
I really
You were
did.
good at it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I left there, it was a combination of reasons. It was so that I could be more available for my mom.
Sure.
And also, I wanted to do more. I didn't exactly, but I wanted to do more stuff with what I love. I love having a booth, and I did finally do it, but I didn't do it right away.
Well, tell our listeners what you mean by a booth.
So I have an antique booth, and anyone in the area, it's at Indian Oaks Antique Mall in Bourbonnais/Bradley.
Booth number
13. Mm-hmm. So I sell stuff through there, and I love it. I love doing that. And I had wanted to do more at the time when I left Evelina's, only I didn't do it right away. But the point is, I definitely felt that shift. Like that. I just really liked having that purpose, and there were a lot of things I liked about it. And so that was another shift too, because I almost never not worked, if you can follow me on that thought process. And I haven't worked at a place where I actually punch in for quite a while now.
Yeah.
So that's...
Which is also a psyche thing. Like, because you're not paid for some of the things that you do as a woman, right? Caring for others in terms of caring for a home, caring for a husband, caring for parents, caring for kids, caring for grandkids, whatever. You're not typically paid for those roles.
Yeah.
But boy, if those people had to pay for that care.
Right. I know. Yeah.
I've had that experience myself, looking back on my career as a mom and my career as a comedian, author, speaker, podcaster, whatever. Many of my roles were unpaid, but that doesn't make them less valuable. And especially when you look into the economy of what's spiritually important and what God has given us the responsibility of being mothers. So by mere virtue of the fact that I gave up a career, you did too,
right,
to raise kids, that's important.
Yeah, because I did have a nice career at Panduit.
You did.
I did.
You had a boss, and you had promotions, and you had an income, and you had training, and
they even would pay for college. Yeah, it was good gig.
But we have to keep things in perspective, and that's not to say, like, I hate that argument of stay at home, don't stay at home, the mommy wars. They used to have that, like, back in the 90s.
Oh yeah, I can remember that on Oprah.
Yeah, who cares? Whatever. All I'm saying is, you have one life. Live it for the Lord. If you're a working mom, great. Be the best working mom that you can be.
That's right.
If you're a stay-at-home mom, perfect. Be the best stay-at-home mom you can be.
I think that every person has to do what's best for themselves and their family. Yeah. And just do what the Lord has led you to do.
And there's definitely times when, you know what, the finances are what they are, and we've got to figure this out. So we got to do what we got to do. All right, let's move on to the second takeaway. The loss isn't you, it's the role. So you didn't disappear. The assignment changed. What say you on that,
I
Catherine?
love that highlight because, I have felt that way where I feel like I'm disappearing. Kenny has had just a great career where I didn't have to work. Sure, there would have been more benefits if I had stuck with, a career, but I didn't have to, and I chose to stay at home. But I did feel a lot of times like I was disappearing. I actually still feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm fumbling on my words because I don't know. I'm getting tongue tied. I don't know how to put it into anything other than, you do feel like you're disappearing.
I would imagine that a lot of women listening to us right now have that same thought, thinking, yeah, I get it. You feel like you're disappearing because there are people in our lives who have needs. And oftentimes, like, you are just coming out of that sandwich generation, where your parents had needs and your kids always have needs, and now you're having a grandchild. There's a lot of women that are in between that Oreo, where they're giving on both sides.
And it's interesting because one of the comments that we put together before we did the podcast is the ache comes from being needed differently, not from being less valuable.
Right.
And that's exactly what's happening. I'm being needed differently at this time. So,
which is important to acknowledge.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can get stuck in this kind of pity party. I hate to call it that, but
well, it can become that.
It can, because you're kind of like, oh, woe is me. Things didn't work out the way I thought they would. We had talked about this off air about my comedy career and how before the pandemic, the trajectory looked pretty promising. Like this was happening and that was happening and this looked like it was going to happen. And then the pandemic came and everything just came to a screeching halt. And even then, we were all kind of like hanging on, right, in the world. Like, when is this 2-week flatten the curve thing going to be done?
Yeah, right.
And 2 weeks turned into 2 years. And comedy didn't just come back. Like, all my gigs canceled, and they didn't just all reappear on my calendar. People moved on. They're like, Tracy who? And my mission changed. It changed from what I thought it was going to be. And now I'm working for my church 2 days a week, which I love.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, God is just using you differently and at a different pace than what you had thought.
So there's the quote, I didn't disappear. The assignment changed.
Yeah. Right.
That's much better than like feeling like a failure, like I failed somehow.
You know what popped into my mind?
What?
Just what we had reviewed yesterday in our adult Bible study class.
Yes.
Where God went silent for 400 years.
Could you imagine?
No.
400 years.
Right. So talk about, I don't know, like a vacuum space and just trying to figure things out.
Right.
Like 400 years, thank God that's not happening.
Where'd you go, God?
Yeah.
You know this. I'm reading in Genesis right now.
Yeah.
And I think I'm in chapter 9 today. But a couple chapters ago was when Noah was getting the ark together.
Yeah.
And then he gets in the ark with all the animals, which I'm like, that would be unpleasant.
Oh, very.
Right? With the smell and all the things.
And the noise.
Everything about it. And then the scripture says that God shut him in or shut them in, right? So God was the one that shut them in. Mm-hmm. He put the final close on the ark.
Yeah.
And then they had to just float around. They were on that thing for
seasick and everything.
150 days. And even when it came to a standstill and the water started to recede, it took forever. It seemed like, as the reader, I'm going, Lord, really? You put him through this whole thing where he's got to build this ark and everybody's going, there's crazy Noah.
Yeah, right.
He says it's going to quote unquote rain. Right?
Right.
And then Noah has to just have faith to believe that all this stuff is going to happen. And he's a righteous man. So obviously he's, He's trying to do what the Lord wants him to do.
Yeah.
But then at the end, when the water starts to recede and he sends out a raven, then he sends out a dove, and,
Yeah.
it's just the process.
I know. You know what's crazy? I was reading about Jonah this morning.
Okay.
And how he, he didn't like the Ninevites, but yet he was told, by God to go and, tell them who the Lord is. And he's like, I don't want to do that. And so
Right.
then he hides, and then God puts him in a fish. God does some amazing, weird things.
He does.
And I don't know. I guess, talk about God shifting things, because he made it so that those Ninevites knew who he was.
And the beauty of it is that if we put our faith and trust in God, then we can trust him with these shifts.
Yeah, it just takes, as we can see, a lot of trust.
It does. And it takes just some thinking about it and praying about it and reading about it and listening to our podcast. All right. So anything else on that takeaway number 2? The loss isn't you, it's the role. So the role is changing. Is there anything else you wanted to say about that?
Well, that we're not starting over. We're continuing forward with more wisdom. So onward, Christian soldier.
Yeah. And at 60, I'm embracing that, the wisdom thing. Because when I know you have to, and I get it. Like, somebody pointed out to me that I have a sleep wrinkle. I'm like, well, thank you.
Who?
I don't remember.
Name them on this podcast right now. We'll call you out. You.
No, but
listener.
Somebody also told me that I have hooded eyes.
Who is telling you anything?
I'm sorry. Total stranger. I don't know who it is. On my YouTube channel, somebody in the comments, this was years ago.
Oh, okay.
My eyes
They're
are
not hooded. They're actually not. That's weird.
Okay, I had never even heard of hooded eyes, but then when they pointed it out, I'm like, oh yeah.
I love that one movie where, she just passed away. Diane Keaton.
Oh yeah.
I think it was her.
Trying to get
She's
her eyes
trying to
going.
lift her eye up
Yeah.
when she confronts her ex-husband. Anyway.
Well, and then this is my sleep wrinkle over here. You can see it on my chin.
It looks the same as your other side to me.
It's got a line right there. You see that line?
Yeah, but so does your other side.
Thank you, best friend.
Well, I always talk about my parentheses, which
Okay.
are the 2 wrinkles around my mouth.
I see that. I see those.
Thank you.
Anyway, the point is our bodies change.
Yeah, we need facelifts.
Well,
Whatever.
Okay. And now I lost my train of thought.
So somebody pointed that out to you.
Right. And I was just kind of I'm trying in my 60s. This is where I was going with that. What I'm trying to do in my 60s is think about, if the Lord's I'm not going to live forever, right? So at some point I'm going to pass away from this earth. What I want to invest my time in, my energy, my money, my resources, I want to invest in things that really matter to God and matter to me. Because at the end of my life, I want to look back and go, that stuff mattered. I don't want to be wasteful of my life or my time or my money or whatever, my attention.
Yeah, you want to look back, but you also want the Lord to say,
well done.
Good and faithful servant.
Yes.
That's what I want. I want to hear that from the Lord.
Yes. Well, that's a perfect segue into our third takeaway, which is identity is rebuilt through small intentional action. You don't think your way into a new identity, you live your way into it.
That's well put.
So I think it does matter to have these conversations to clarify what matters now, values over titles. Because this world will celebrate career, money, position, acquisition,
status.
The world and the culture we live in celebrates all that.
Yeah.
But do they really celebrate caregiving, prayer, bringing meals to people, doing Bible study with people, even encouragement?
Really the unseen.
Right.
All of the things that are unseen are never celebrated. Well, I shouldn't say never, but rarely.
They're not as bougie or, headline worthy.
Right.
But yeah,
But the Lord knows.
He knows, and he gives us every grace that we could possibly imagine or need. So when we clarify what we're doing and get it straight in our heads, right, that this is a value over a title.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to share about that?
No, I'm kind of, we have in our notes here, keep or release roles based on energy, not obligations. I'm kind of pondering that. And under that, it says, write a simple narrative. What changed? What is this season asking of me? I like these questions.
Yeah.
Who am I becoming? And then it says to create small daily anchors, like your rituals, habits, and practices.
Well, let's go back to the energy piece of it. Energy versus obligation. I mean, what about that makes you go,
Well, I guess trying to identify the differences, and really trying to kind of dissect what that even means. Keep or release roles based on energy, not on obligation. So I guess it means to just follow what you have energy for, and not those that just are like, an obligation.
Well, and when you think about it, as we're getting older, our capacity and our energy is not the same as it was when we were in our 20s and our 30s, okay? Even our 40s or 50s. As we get older, in our 60s, 70s, Lord willing, 80s, 90s, our capacity and our energy changes.
Right.
Right?
Right.
There's big changes out there.
Right.
And if you are continuing to go forward out of obligation, you're going to feel...
You're not going to give it the energy it deserves.
That's exactly right. And there's going to be resentment. There's going to be bitterness and barriers, I think, to relationships.
For sure.
So we definitely don't want to just go forward out of obligation. Okay? Be realistic with these are our limits. This is where we are. We can grow from here. Maybe we can change some things. Like, I think of just even the commodity of time. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, right? And you're limited. Yeah. You can't add 1 hour to your life.
Right.
That's biblical.
Right. No, right. It is.
You can't.
Yeah.
And so we have to sort of, we are, what do you call that? Like, we're responsible for our time.
Yeah.
As well as physically. We have limits physically.
Right.
You can't go 24/7.
Right.
You can't do it.
Yep. We're laughing about little inside stuff.
Oh, Catherine, you're so funny. Oh, anything else? Our prayer group knows.
Well, yeah.
Our prayer group, if you're listening, you know.
Oh, gosh.
Anything else about that you wanted to say?
No, I'm glad we don't have video right now, though.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's do that.
Call to action. We just want to give you a very simple reminder that when life shifts, and it's always shifting.
Yeah.
What's that thing called, like shift shapers or shape shifters or something? It's like a sci-fi thing. Oh. It's when beings like change into something else. They become lizards and stuff. It's
when
like
they mutate?
Yeah, I think it's called shape shifting.
Oh.
That's what I thought of when we were doing this episode.
Oh.
Is that life always shifts.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that we can be sure of, is that things change.
And sometimes they shift like an earthquake.
Sometimes. But guess what? You don't disappear, you adapt.
Yes.
That's our call to action. Don't disappear, adapt.
In other words, go with the flow.
Yes.
Don't fight it.
Go with the... Oh, sorry. That was my phone. I dropped it. Oops. Sorry. Go with the flow.
Got a little excited there.
Okay, we have some scripture.
Oh, gosh.
Let's share some
always bring
scripture.
us back to grounding, right?
Right. Lord, help us.
Oh.
The scripture that we have for today is out of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. It says this: there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens.
Yes.
Catherine.
Mm-hmm. Tracy.
Okay. All right, friends. Well, you've been listening to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm still comedian Tracy DeGraff.
I'm still Catherine.
We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.